SCP-1538 Instructions to a Twin-Screw Extruder. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Instances of SCP-1538 are cataloged and filed in the Site-23 archives and may be accessed with clearance from the Research Director. A compendium of transcribed SCP-1538 text is available through the Site-23 Adonis Secure subnetwork. All reports concerning suicides filed by law enforcement agencies in the Daejeon metropolitan area are to be clandestinely monitored by Regional Foundation assets for evidence of SCP-1538 instances. In the event of a resumption of SCP-1538 manifestations, subsequent investigations are to be turned over to Foundation operatives using the established cover of National Police Agency Task Force Way, a special unit within the South Korean law enforcement structure. As of Redacted 2010, and the conclusion of Exploration 1538-1, access to the Soksagam Cave System in Hallison National Park is closed to all personnel and civilians. A security perimeter is to be maintained under the auspices of a long-term ecological restoration project. Any unusual activity near the Exploration 1538-1 initial entry is to be immediately considered a medium-risk containment breach event, subject to established response protocols. Description: SCP-1538 is a collection of 15 documents that appeared between July 29, 2008 and February 11, 2012, transcribed as suicide notes by 15 separate individuals. Despite confirmation by Foundation investigators of no existing relationship between any of the 15 individuals, each suicide note left behind by these individuals contained a portion of a unified narrative. In all cases, SCP-1538 instances consist of specialized technical instructions interspersed with personal sentiments consistent with a suicide note. All individuals responsible for instances of SCP-1538 resided within 80 kilometers of the city of Daejeon, South Korea, most having maintained residence in the district of Jeonggu. 2 individuals resided in the Useong-gu district, while one was a long-term patient in the city's Daejeon Shinseng mental health facility. No anomalous factors appear to have contributed to suicides. Review of law enforcement and personal records indicate that in each case, financial distress, troubled interpersonal relationships, untreated mental illness, or other commonly cited motivations for self-harm were responsible for each individual's decision to take their own life. The 15 authors of SCP-1583 demonstrate no clear demographic similarities, and vary in gender, age, profession, socioeconomic status, family background, and all other observable traits. When combined, the entirety of SCP-1538 instances, with the exception of Note 4, form a technical manual for the operation of a twin-screw extruder machine of unknown manufacture, hereafter SCP-1538-1. Note 4 contains GPS coordinates indicating a previously undiscovered access point to the Soksagam Cave System, within which SCP-1538-1 was discovered during Exploration 1538-1. Addendum 1538-1. Sample of SCP-1538 instances. Note 3 was left by Redacted, a 43-year-old female teacher at a technical high school. Miss Redacted's body was found in her car in the school parking lot by students arriving from morning classes. Cause of death was later ruled to be self-inflicted asphyxiation. The actual column displays the actual data from your processes. The set column displays the set points of your temperature controllers and analog signals. By default, the alarm values high, 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 low, 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 for each zone temperature are set to +15 high, +10 high, -10 low, -15 low. All alarm values. I am so sorry. I am not strong enough for this. Please do not call any more attention to me than. All parameters are color-coded based on alarm status. You will notice that when you place the mouse pointer at any parameter cell, the parameter will appear on a small text balloon. There are 3 major ways to view a process parameter's data. They are: do not tell Kim they found me like this. The shame is great enough already. Goodbye. This allows you to see the alarm values along with the actual parameter value, and in the case of a temperature control zone, the temperature setup. Once the data strip is in view, you can left-click on any parameter and it will be displayed in the data strip. Note 14 was found folded in the shirt pocket of Redacted, a 22-year-old male university student. Mr. Redacted's remains were recovered at the bottom of a cliff after being discovered by hikers in a coastal region of western Cheongnam province, and were found to be partially scavenged by local wildlife. My actions have led me here, no one else's. I have caused immeasurable grief to those around me, and brought disgrace to those who trusted me most. I am, as discussed earlier in this manual, log event comments by using the Add Event button on the icon bar. You can also log event comments by double-clicking the left mouse button on the graphic window. This will open the User Event Log window. You can then add your event comments and then click OK to add them to the events page. Note: events are logged at the current runtime, not the point of, I hereby leave all my belongings to my mother, father, and sister. In addition to what's in my room, I have a small safe deposit box at the Wari Bank in Munwaru. The combination, while melting and pumping as much polymer to the die as possible is important, mixing materials and compounding applications is equally important. There are many ways of achieving good mixing. Pins may be placed in strategic places in the metering section of a screw. Fluted sections at the end of the screw help to both mix and melt leftover solid polymer. Note 8 was recovered on a bedside table in the hotel room where Redacted, a 19-year-old musician, was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. An autopsy later indicated that Miss Redacted had ingested lethal quantities of Demerol and 18 capsules of Zodapine, an antipsychotic drug that had recently been prescribed to her. 1. High amps, material 2 fused event. Generally results in a hot extrusion with glossy and wavy ID, caused by high melt viscosity, or early fusion in barrel, and twin screw. A. Formulation may need a higher external or internal lubricant ratio. Decrease calcium stearate 0.2 pHr and or increase wax 0.1 to 0.2 pHr. B. Screw temperature may be too high. Screw temperature should be about the same as the metering zone of. Why do they keep peeling my skin? It hurts. Make it stop. It hasn't stopped for hours. Help isn't coming. No matter what he says, help isn't coming. Good ideas are bad ideas. I have a very good idea. They can't collect on what isn't here. Empty threats when nothing can be worse than this. I dare them. So nice of you to come. I can sing. They like to sing. We'll all never stop singing, not even when we can't blink anymore and the lights flash and flash and flash. I know a song, and I like parties, all kinds of places. I know 2 songs, the one they write for me, and the one the other things write for me. I don't like songs. 7. Powdered or semi-fused material extruding at a vent, with flood feeding. A. Generally a barrel temperature profile out of balance. Rear zone 1 and 2 temperatures usually need to increase for twin screws, but a decrease for single screws. Addendum 1538-2. Summary of Expedition 1538-1. Following a 6-month period after the recovery of Note 15, researchers determined that no further notes were likely to be forthcoming. Initial investigation of the GPS coordinates contained in Note 4 revealed the presence of a small, unmapped entrance to the Soksagam cave system. On Redacted 2010, Foundation personnel organized an exploratory party to investigate any accessible portions of the cave system and document any findings. An 8-person group consisting of 3 researchers, 3 security personnel, and 2 D-Class test subjects were dispatched to Hallison National Park. D-Class subjects were equipped with ropes, helmets, flashlights, and associated spelunking gear, as well as helmet-mounted video camera, a cable relay for audio communication, and 2 days' worth of emergency provisions. Researchers established a small observation outpost at the cave entrance, while security personnel established a perimeter and fail-safe devices at the entry point. At 06:15 hours on Redacted 2010, D-Class subjects commenced exploration. Initial observations were consistent with a primary cave or lava tube structure, similar to previously documented portions of the Soksagam complex. The initial 200 meters of the passage consisted of a tubular, approximately 3-meter diameter passageway in a westerly direction until narrowing considerably and sloping sharply downward. The passageway was lined with an unidentifiable dark red slurry and featured a considerable amount of arthropod activity, as unidentified species of beetles, centipedes, and spiders were observed in substantial quantities at its entrance. D88127, equipped with a video camera, crawled first into the passage, followed by D49213. Subjects crawled through this portion of the cave for 3 hours, at times having to assume a completely prone position due to extremely narrow stretches. After descending an estimated 85 meters during this time, the passageway opened into a spacious chamber featuring numerous speleothems, mostly pillars and dripstone, typical of nearby cave formations. Subjects observed, however, that the floor of the chamber consisted of polished black marble tile, in the manner of a constructed dwelling. No other signs of human habitation or artifice were present. Subjects continued traveling for approximately 30 meters in a southeasterly direction until encountering a 0.75-meter diameter hole in the chamber floor. After searching for alternate routes outside of the chamber and finding none, subjects established an anchor point at a nearby pillar, attached a rope, and descended into the hole. Subjects rappelled into a shaft with an estimated depth of 25 meters, terminating in a small chamber. Upon reaching the floor of the chamber, subjects documented their surroundings, noting that the walls and floor were coated with the same slurry as the initial passageway. In the center of the chamber, subjects discovered what appeared to be a twin-screw extruder machine with an integrated computer terminal, such as that seemingly described in the SCP-1538 narrative, described in later reports as SCP-1538-1. SCP-1538-1 was wired to a series of automotive batteries, which served as an apparent improvised power source. No other artificial structures appear to be present in the chamber. Upon instructions from researchers, D49213 approached the computer terminal and activated SCP-1538-1. D88127 recorded video data of the encounter. The following is a transcript of the subsequent sequence of events. D49213 powers on SCP-1538-1. A startup sequence displays on the integrated monitor, consistent with activity described in the SCP-1538 narrative. A prompt reading, "Input command," appears on the screen. D49213. Initiation confirmed. What do you want me to do next? Researcher Inc. Please input Initiate Operation 15 Mode 3 into the terminal. Copy. D49213 enters the command as instructed. After 20 seconds, a response appears on the screen reading, "Unrecognized operator present," followed by a second message reading, "Requested data not found." What now? Unintelligible dialogue from multiple staff in background. Stand by. Additional background dialogue from multiple staff. Wait and see if it returns to the input command prompt. It's making some sort of grinding noise now. SCP-1538-1 commences mechanical operation. A message on the monitor appears reading, "Initiating sequence 4. It's doing something now. Things are moving. There's something coming out of it. D88127, I want video on the output port." D88127 moves the camera towards the end of SCP-1538-1. As the camera focuses closely, SCP-1538-1 is shown producing a steady stream of a substance resembling the dark red slurry documented previously in the cavern at a rapid rate. The substance appears to be intermixed with teeth, bone fragments, and scraps of epidermal tissue. D88127. What is that? Please continue the video feed. SCP-1538-1 continues to produce a steady supply of slurry despite lack of visible input. As the mound of slurry approaches a height of 2 meters, movement becomes apparent within it. There's something moving around in there, Command. Maintain video contact. Movement continues within the SCP-1538-1 slurry pile. After 45 seconds of additional observation, a pseudopod-like structure emerges from the center of the slurry pile. At the end of the structure is what appears to be a skinned human face. Footnote 1. Video analysis indicates the face is an almost certain match for the features of Redacted. Author of SCP-1538, Note 7. Shit. Keep the camera on at 88127. The pseudopod extends directly upwards at a height of approximately 4 meters before beginning to move toward D88127. Get the fuck out of here. Video contact is lost as the cameras drop to the ground and subjects flee. The sounds of a rope ascender being attached are audible, as well as unintelligible screaming from D88127 and the sounds of fabric ripping and an unidentified liquid spilling onto the floor. Neither subject responded to repeated orders and attempts at communication over the telecom link after loss of the video feed, although what is presumed to be D49213's labored breathing and the sound of a rope ascender were heard constantly for the next 10 minutes. At 13:27 hours, D49213 confirmed that he reached the marble tile chamber above SCP-1538-1. Faint unintelligible screaming was heard in the background of D49213's communications. Researchers repeatedly asked D49213 for an explanation of events after loss of the video feed. No answers were forthcoming. D49213, against direct orders from researchers, proceeded back through the passageway towards the cave entrance. At 14:41 hours, D49213 reported unidentified noises in the passageway behind him. Due to the tight confines of the passageway, D49213 was unable to achieve visual confirmation of the source of the noises, but repeatedly informed researchers that he was being pursued. Researcher Ang conferred with staff and contacted Research Director Trilling at 14:50 hours. Upon Research Director Trilling's orders to activate failsafe measures, security staff remotely detonated explosives at the cave entrance, collapsing the entryway and closing the passageway off to all access. All audio contact with D49213 was lost at 14:55 hours. Thank you for listening to SCP-1538, Instructions to a Twin-Screw Extruder by Callanan. If you enjoyed this SCP, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Also, make sure to follow the link in the description to the SCP Wiki, and vote up the article to support the author and the SCP Wiki as a whole.